All right, welcome to another video from the chart readers. Today we will be looking at energy and oil. We will be doing the same thing we always do, right? We'll look at the daily and the weekly. We have our 5 moving averages, these horizontal support and resistance lines that I do manually draw. And then when I am done here, we will use the MACD and the RSI for our lower indicators. So goes without saying, today was a monster day in the market, right? Everything was up. NASDAQ was over 5%, I think closing around 7%. Just a crazy, crazy day, right? Tomorrow will be important because we do want confirmation, right? I'm not here for a one-day pop. We're here for some sustained uptrends, which really will start if the market does make a good ride up, right? So I'll probably make a market video again today. I made one yesterday that was obviously very wrong, right? But nonetheless, the focus here will be energy and oil. So we're going to start where we always do, right? We will look at SCO. Again, this is a short on oil. So if you like oil, you want this to do bad, right? And it's an interesting chart here, right? Because again, we see what looked like a crash, what started to do an uptrend. But hey, we've seen so many times stocks struggling with the 20, and again you actually see it here, right? It happens there once, actually here twice, there 3 times, and it looks like this is the 4th one, right? So the 20 is going to be hard to get over. Again, the 100's right behind it, and then the 50 not even that far away. So hopefully this is going to be the stop point, and then we bounce down, right? It looks like the green line actually wants to go down instead of up. So hopefully that's a good thing, right? We want this to suck so that the rest of the oil stocks on this video do well, right? Overall, this is actually a bad weekly. Obviously, this did really well during the week, but we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, actually 6 weeks under the 8. And obviously, what is this? 3 weeks under the 20, right? So not a great weekly. The daily looked like it was turning, but hopefully we get a rejection here on the 20, and then obviously that would be good for the upcoming oil stocks. So OXY, Occidental Petro, right? Real nasty crash. Again, yesterday there was so much pessimistic feelings in the air, and today, I mean, a big rip up, right? Obviously, you can see the 50 here did act as a good support. Didn't quite lose it there, tested it, and then obviously just bounced off, right? Again, it looked really bad. There were moments in the day where literally it was below yesterday. It was under 68, and then just a fly up to 70, right? Which is real nice to see. So, yeah, I don't think there's too much more. Obviously, this isn't a great MACD and an RSI, but again, it looks like they maybe will want to curl up. Again, I think tomorrow is going to be important. If the markets do well, things should do well, right? So I'm going to tie a lot of that with today, you know what I mean? But overall, this actually isn't a bad weekly, right? Number of weeks over the 8 and the 20. Obviously, that's a real good place to be trading. Actually, RSI is not even that low or that high. It's kind of in a good in the middle spot, right? And we're above every single moving average on the weekly, which is a great place to be, right? So hopefully we can actually get a nice little sustained up, and if we can get over this, really would be nice. That would be real key, over 73. But again, still looking healthy on the weekly, which feels good. And though this doesn't look fantastic, this looks like a decent bounce off the 50 if we can get over that right there, the 8 and the 20. Oxy overall not bad. Again, I'd wait for tomorrow confirmation if you don't have any money in there. INDO. So look, again, I keep going back and forth with INDO. Such a tight cluster, such a tight cluster. Looked like it was going to lose it. And then again, today was a good day. We're now technically back over the 8 and the 20. If this can get over the 100, it will fly, right? There's a lot of good in between right here, right? Small, I mean, really, these 2 lines are still pretty good lines to call. But yeah, it all starts and ends with this cluster, right? Again, yesterday it looked really bad, looked like it would keep going. Honestly, I'm not going to pretend it bounced off this 630 line. It really was how the market went today, right? But yeah, if we get another good day, that might be enough to get it over this cluster, maybe even over the 701 line and start the up, right? So INDO for sure is well worth looking at tomorrow and see how it does with this cluster, right? So otherwise, look, this is just going to be doing horizontal stuff, right? So Horizontal is kind of the assumption until it breaks, right? But, oh, hold on. Let me look at the weekly real quick. That's all right. Again, so look, it's still a little early in the week. Well, no, not really, actually. It's pretty late in the week. But nonetheless, we're still over the 8. Couldn't quite get over the 20. It would be real nice if we can get over 680 tomorrow, right? Tomorrow would be the close of the week. Ideally gets us over. Obviously, I also want to get over 7. Don't get me wrong, because that'll be an even better confirmation on the weekly. But hey, we'll take what we can get, right? But yeah, 7 seems to be the magic number for Indo to really show sustained uptrend. Otherwise, just watch this cluster break right here, okay? CEI. So CEI had a monster pop a few days ago, obviously on the 7th, like you see right here, right? Couldn't get over the 20. And again, we've talked about that with CEI, right? Just couldn't get over the 20. I do want to note one thing, right? I know we see a plus day today, but it really wasn't that good a day, actually. So again, it did better than yesterday. Yesterday ended here. We now at least ended here. But this actually opened right here and closed right here, right? Obviously, they're both going to say 13 because I cannot see the 4 decimals out. But someone actually lost some money on CEI, and that really sucks because of how the market did, right? That said, look, if this opens over the 8, this is a pretty good move right here, trading between the 8 and the 20. But again, just real sad to see this didn't do much better while the others did. And look, that might be an indicator that some of this might not last, right? So watch CEI tomorrow, even if you don't have any money on it. Because again, we want a lot of these energy and oil stocks to kind of do the same thing, right? This one's obviously a little more energy, obviously, than the name, right? But look, oil, energy, they're kind of the same sector, right? Until you start like dissecting it a little more than I really am. But worth a watch, because again, I'm real surprised that this didn't do it, especially given the early pop it had in the beginning of the week. So, dude, I keep trying to skip the weekly. I am in a little hurry, I'm not going to lie, but I'm trying to do this right. Again, you see it just highlighted right here on the weekly. A monster pop, and then for whatever reason, a drop that really kind of happened today as well, right? While everything went up. So, keep an eye on CEI. Again, I think this could be a good sign of how things will look, even if you don't have any money on it. So IMPP, same boat as Indo, and actually right now it does look better than Indo, right? I keep going back and forth between IMPP and Indo because they're both really doing the same thing, right? It's just doing this horizontal trading. It looked like it wanted to come down and lose it, but no, it's actually back over the 8, back over the 20, back over the 100, and I'm going to zoom out a bit right here. 200 is all the way up here, right? So again, if we can get a nice confirmed break of the 200, and really I think that starts at breaking 44, big things can happen. That's a really ugly RSI, but we're still kind of also going horizontal in the RSI, right? So again, maybe some good confirmation will give us a nicer curve up. MACD doesn't look too bad either. I do wish this was a little better, but again, I always say it, 80% of the work is up here, right? And if you're over moving averages, you're on your way to breaking some support or resistance lines, that does make me feel good. You know what I mean? So yeah, 80% up here, 20% down here, but again, I do wish this did look a little better. IMPP, this is a good weekly right here, right? Over the 8 and the 20 last week, a nice confirmation, right? Because again, we're over it. I wish it was a little less doji than it is here, right? But again, I'm happy with this. Get me over, give me 1 second, I gotta let go of that. Get me over or a little closer to 44 cents and I'll be happier. Because let's overtake this candle. And I mean, again, the 200 was so high on the daily. Where's the 50? Jesus, there is no 50 here. IMPP has not been trading for 50 weeks yet. So there, if we can get over the 20, that is actually the last moving average line for now, right? Again, once we've done 50 weeks of trading, a red dot will form. But right now, we're actually over all of the moving averages on the weekly, right? So that's a pretty cool thing, actually. IMPP, well worth looking at tomorrow if we get the right confirmations. Okay, so look, UEC, again, I keep talking about it, right? I was so disappointed in how this acted at the 420 line. Looked like it was just going to fall well out of the cluster. Instead, it's actually able to come up. Again, looked like it was going to lose the cluster, but today, big movement, back in it, well over. What are we over right now? We're over the 100, we're over the 50, we're over the 100, we're over the 8, and we're over the 50. I got a little excited when I saw that. The 200 and the 20, they're both no jokes, don't get me wrong. But hey, if we can get over this, hopefully we'll make another run at 420, and then from there we make a better run. Because I was saying if we could get over 420, it looked like smooth sailing. Clearly that didn't happen, and really it looks a lot smoother after 457 too. But let's get over 420, and I think I'll be confident in this again. But big day today. Make sure we get the confirmation tomorrow. Again, weeklies are looking good, right? This last week actually still stayed over every moving average, which is good to see. Look, I wish this confirmation was a little better. I wish there was a little less doji on the actual weekly, and actually this kind of still looks like a downtrend with these ones. But again, we're over moving averages, which I like. We'll see how tomorrow goes, because again, hopefully tomorrow is good and we start working our way to 4, and this ends up being a little less doji like, right? So UEC though, really got to get over 4, want to get back into the 420 range, and hopefully go up from there. Because again, this is all 5 lines. There's no better place to be trading than over all 5, right? And the last thing we want to do is go under, which it looked like was going to happen until we got the massive rally today. GEVO, one of my favorite stocks to just say, right? Again, we talked about this the last few weeks, right? It's only 2 lines, but it was definitely a cluster for this guy. Horrible drop, but look, we're actually over yesterday, right? Yesterday opened here, obviously closed here. I liked that we closed more than we opened, right? So this was down here. We're obviously a penny over that, right? At 211. If we can get over this, that'll be a good reason to go up there. And really, GEVO is a little more NASDAQ tied, right? This is a methane company, right? It's in this line of being an but like eco-friendly thing, right? So GEVO, I do like GEVO. I have a little place in my heart for GEVO, I'll be honest. So I'm secretly hoping for good things. But again, rule number 1 is get over the 8. And if we can get some stuff, we'll see how that goes. Oh man, so again, the weekly doesn't look as good as other ones do, right? So I always say make sure you're getting a stock that has a good weekly so that your dailies will look nice, right? That's how you swing. It's better to believe that 3 of the 5 days are going to do well, or at least, average out better to keep the weekly going well, right? So look for a good weekly, that'll get you a good daily, right? So there were better weeklies here, but again, a good day tomorrow might get us over this 2-line cluster, right? So GEVO, LIACF. Ooh, look at LIACF, actually. This is really nice. I do like this. So what's happened, right? It couldn't get over the 50 in a good while, right? Looks like there was a test here, an actual break here, and then just a lot of dancing with it. Look, if this can get over 163, there's a real healthy distance to get to the 200. And really, let me make this downtrend line real quick. So it looks like we'll take it from here. Yeah, look at that bad boy. So right here, it looks like we've downtrended, and then right here, it looks like it might be starting an uptrend, and I do really like this MACD and this RSI. Yeah, if we can get over this, it might start doing something like that. So watch this. I don't know why this one gives me 4 decimals and other ones don't, but 1.6734 should be your alert. That's where you want to know and potentially get in on this one, actually. But LIACF does look pretty good, actually. Yeah, let's take a look at the weekly real quick. Hey, this is, again, a nicer weekly than GEVO, right? This week we were over the 8. again, it looks like a red candle. I understand that because, again, it was at this point where it started and this is where we're at now. But well over last week and pretty close to the 20. I do like that, right? Again, I wish the RSI was a little better. I'll take the MACD being good, but more happens up here than down here, right? 1.6734. Again, if we can do that tomorrow, that'll make this a real pretty weekly, right? So LIACF definitely should be on your watch list for tomorrow. And then TMC. Look, TMC is starting to, this could be a pretty decent gap. Nah, I wouldn't even really call it a decent gap fill. But look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days of red. Hopefully we start doing this nice little curve up. That's a real good MACD. I can see this definitely making a move maybe to the 20, if not even a little higher if this guy gets a good little follow through from the markets tomorrow, right? But again, tomorrow matters for the majors. This clearly is not over the 8 on the daily, right? So even in terms of a short move, there are better ones on the chart, right? I wish this was at least up here. How does this weekly look? This is actually still a really bad weekly, right? We'll see how tomorrow ends. Maybe this will end green and start getting a little bit over this one. But right now we're sitting here, right? We're pretty far from even being in last week's candle, right? So there were better stocks on this video than TMC. However, I'm hoping we get a little bit of momentum, come back into this horizontal cluster. And again, once this breaks the 50, once this can get over 102, oh man, that'll be some real nice trading for sure. Because look how high the 200 is. So how high is it? 134, right? That's real nice. That's almost 20%, right? That's actually 13.4% roughly at $1, right? So TMC not quite yet. There were some better ones, but again, hopefully we'll make up for this downtrend that we see here. Hey, I hope you're learning. Obviously, a really exciting day in the market today, but you've watched enough videos, if you're staying till the 16-minute mark, to know, wait for confirmation. I promise you, wait for confirmation. It'll feel like you're missing out on profits, today and tomorrow, but the goal is to put your money in and feel good that if you don't touch it for a week, you'll still make money. That's a beautiful thing, right? So, hey, I hope you're learning.